Hello and welcome to Code Your Own Tartan. I'm Daniel and I'm here in the Scottish borders. You're here for a very special live lesson celebrating Scottish connections worldwide. There's so many of you from all over the world joining us and it's great to see you.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm a computer scientist and I love being creative with code. And today you're going to be creative technologists. You're going to use code to design your own tartan. Now, tartan is part of Scotland's history, but it's also part of modern Scotland. Millions of people wear tartan every day.
We've come to Selkirk and to Lochcarron of Scotland's mill, where they design and make tartan.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to Lochcarron. Come on in, I'll show you what we do.
We've got hundreds of people joining this lesson from around the world. We've got people taking part from South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, India, Canada, and the United States of America. Yes, and many of you are joining us from a bit closer to home as well. So a big hello and welcome if you are coming from Ireland, Wales, England, or of course, Scotland. Daniel, are you ready to code your own tartan? Yeah, I'm so ready, Greg, and I hope you are too. Let's get started.
Hello from Scotland, and thank you for joining us from around the world. I'm Daniel, and I'm here with Craig.
Hi Daniel, hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm really looking forward to this lesson today.
Me too, and today we are going to be talking about something that Scotland is really well known for.
Oh, let me guess, castles,
Lochs,
bagpipes,
haggis,
golf,
iron brew.
penicillin.
Well, those things are all Scottish, but they're out with, there you go, what we're talking about today, which is tartan. Tartan is part of Scotland's identity, and it's worn by millions of people all around the world. It's got a really long history, but it's still relevant and used lots in modern Scotland. Craig, do you own anything with a tartan design?
Yeah, I've got a few things. I have this lovely soft tartan scarf. It's really
Nice.
soft. On the other scale of things, I've got a kilt, Daniel.
You've got a kilt, nice. Do you know what tartan your kilt
look at
is?
that. Yeah, it's blue Ramsey modern is the colour of my tartan. Now, it's not a clan or anything that I belong to. It's just I like the design of it.
Yeah, loads of tartans exist that have designs that are linked to families or clans, but a lot of tartans are chosen because people like the colours or the colours are appropriate to other groups. So for example, I remember my university had a tartan that I would wear, but I've even seen fictional characters like Shrek having their own tartans too. That one's got a lot of green and brown in it. It's very swampy.
But we're here today to code your own tartan, and we're going to be using computers. So, Daniel, can you use computer code to design tartan?
Well, tartan is made up of repeating patterns, which you call a set. And repeating patterns is something that you can represent easily in code. And you're asking, can you do it, Craig? Well, I can tell you that hundreds of pupils have already been on our website, which is cyberskillslive.com, and coded their own tartans. Craig, can you show us how to get started?
Okay, let's see how to code your own tartan. Make sure you're on our website, cyberskillslive.com. Then you're going to find Code Your Own Tartan and hit play. It's going to ask you to put your name in and your school. Do that. And then you can jump straight to Design Your Own Tartan. Once you're here, this is where you tell us about your design decisions. You need to tell us who your tartan is for. Fill that in. You need to tell us a bit more about your group. Then you need to pick the 5 colours of the tartan that are significant to your group. So you choose the colour. I'm going to go for this blue. Then it will update the hex value for you here automatically, but you need to fill in what it represents. So you do that for all 5 colours. Lastly, you need to think about the position of the stripes, the warp and the weft. Tell us one way that you could use a pattern to tell your group's story. Fill that in here. Then you're going to hit Save Design Choices. Once you've done that, You can hit I'm ready to code my own tartan. And here is the code. You do not need to rewrite all this code, you just need to edit parts. So the first parts here are your colours. All you're going to do is edit the colour here to match the colours that you've chosen. So you can copy and paste it, or you can type it in here. Whenever you hit play, you will see a version of your tartan so far. So if I edit this code, I'm just going to copy paste that in. Then I hit play again. You can see the colours changed. If you want to undo it, you can hit undo, play again, you see the updated version, or stop. Really important part is the warp and the weft. Each row is a stripe of one of your colours. The bigger the number, the wider the stripe. So you can add, remove, or edit these rows here. And again, if you edit these rows and you hit play, your tartan will update. This is how you're going to design the positions of those stripes. Have a look through the rest of the code, see what else you can change, but once you're happy with your design, go down to the bottom, make sure these parts are filled in, telling us about your tartan, and then you're going to hit share your design to our gallery. Once you've done that, that's it sent to us.
Thanks, Craig. Later on, we're going to be taking a look at some of the tartans that you've been designing in our Scottish Connections gallery.
But first, you've been telling us about your experiences with tartan as well. If you've not joined in already, you can go to menti.com using that link at the top there. You can see with a number. Put that number in and you can answer some of the questions that we're doing today as well. Daniel, we asked people to tell us something that they've seen that is made with a tartan pattern.
Yeah, let's have a look and see what you've told us. Oh, Craig, lots of items of clothing here. There is one item that looks more popular than any other, and that's the kilt.
Yeah, kilts are really up there, Daniel. Doesn't surprise me, but also tartan tops, tartan scarves, tartan towels as well.
Hairbands, dresses, socks. I've got some tartan socks.
T-shirts. Oh, a car. Someone has seen a tartan car. Maybe we'll learn more about that at some point. Yeah, lots of good examples here.
Yeah, school uniform.
We also school uniform. Yeah, some people may already have tartan as part of their school uniform as well. Daniel, we also asked people, have you ever worn tartan before?
Yeah, so let's have a look and see what you've told us. So 2/3 of you have told us, yes, you have worn tartan before. 28% are saying no. And about 10% of you are saying no, but you would like to wear tartan.
Okay, Daniel, so it sounds like we've got about 2/3 of the audience are maybe already converted to tartan. I think we've got some new fans to make there as well.
Yeah.
Maybe designing part of your tartan.
And I think that makes sense because some of our audience today isn't joining from Scotland. Some people aren't surrounded by tartan in the same way that perhaps we are.
Yeah, we're celebrating not just tartan in Scotland, but Scottish connections around the world as well. So hello to some of our international audience. I think we can give some schools a bit of a shout out later. But we also asked you to tell us if tartan is popular where you're from. Some of you have answered these questions. So Mila from Mearns Primary School said, yes, tartan is popular here. Kazi from Whitehill Secondary School in Denniston in Glasgow said, oh, well, we don't really use tartan that much here.
And Marwan, who's in Stirling, has said, yes, tartan is popular. I'm not surprised. Stirling, very historic place, Craig.
Excellent. So, will you get on with coding some of your tartans if you've not done it already? I want you to meet someone who works in the tartan textile industry in Scotland. Leah is from Lochcarron of Scotland. Lochcarron of Scotland are one of the world's leading designers and manufacturers of tartan. And you saw their mill at the start of this session. So let's welcome her. Hello, Leah.
Hi, hello.
It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
You're most welcome.
And you're surrounded by tartan already.
I am, absolutely surrounded by it.
So Leah, you're the managing director of the company. Why do you love tartan?
Tartan is it's one of those patterns that symbolises so many things, doesn't it? It symbolises heritage, family, culture, often a sort of very strong sense of belonging. Each design represents a different family, a different clan, a charity, an event. It's a really unique way of telling a story. A story can be woven into that fabric, and we all know that storytelling is such an important part of Scottish culture. It's how things are passed down.
Oh, absolutely. And storytelling is a big part of what we're doing today as well. Now, we think of tartan as being like the history of Scotland, but is it still something that's popular and relevant in Scotland today?
Yeah, I think it's very relevant. It's very popular. You see people wearing it to weddings, black tie events, sporting events, and even Céilís, which is a Scottish gathering, if you like, where we do dancing, and usually people wear quite a lot of tartan to that as well.
Oh, yeah. When you go to a ceilidh, I imagine you're trying to spot as many tartans as you can when you go to a ceilidh.
Absolutely. It's lovely to see all the different tartans together, yeah,
Yeah.
a
Now,
community of tartan.
yeah, the tartan fabric that you make at Lochcarron, do you use it? We saw some of the examples where people have seen a tartan being used. Is that the type of things you make?
Yes, we do. We do a whole a whole range of tartans for people to wear. So for accessories, clothing, kilts, obviously kilts, but we also work with a lot of international design houses such as Vivienne Westwood who make beautiful things for the catwalk. We also do things for the home, for your interior, blankets, carpets, curtains, that kind of thing as well.
Yeah, some people had mentioned they'd seen things like tartan carpets as well. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's not just kilts and scarves. You can use it for a lot of different reasons.
it's great for having in the home. Yeah, good fibre.
Leah, you've designed a lot of tartans. When you're designing tartans, how do you help people tell their stories through a tartan design?
Yeah, we usually start with a brief. So people come to us, they've generally got some kind of idea about where they want to start, whether it's a connection to a tartan that they already love, whether it's a family connection that they have, or if it's an event. Sometimes we did the UCI cycle championship, so they came with their brand colours. So people usually come with some information, and we can start working with that. Yeah.
Brilliant. And when it comes to tartan designs, what are you looking for in a good tartan design?
For me, I would say it's all about the balance. So you want to make sure that the different colors that you're putting together are harmonious, that your balance is nice, and also that those colors really represent what you're hoping for, whether it's brand identity or whether it's a family link. Making sure that the colors really work together.
We've had some questions come in from people who are watching and playing along. So this is a question from a student at Boroughmuir High School near Edinburgh. How many different colours can be used when making a tartan?
We usually try to do a maximum of 6 colors, but I mean, simple tartans like the Rob Roy tartan, that's only got 2 colors in it, red and black. So yeah, usually 6 is the maximum though.
Okay. And another pupil from Skene School in Aberdeenshire asks, what are the most popular colours that are used in tartans?
Yeah, the most popular are usually green, bottle green, and navy blue, red and scarlet. Those are some of the most popular colors. Yeah.
And are those because people that you associate them with tartan designs, or is it related to the materials, or what makes them popular, do you think?
Yeah, I think historically those colors were used in a lot of clan-linked tartans, so they've set a tone, and people sort of follow that trend, really. Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
think,
quite
Daniel, you've
linked
had
to
a question.
yeah, there's a question that's come from Chicago in the States from Lindblom
Great.
Math and Science Academy. And
Yeah.
they're asking if the colors in tartans traditionally represent something like landscape or family, or is there generally a
Yeah.
meaning behind them?
They all do. I mean, I think Scotland is obviously surrounded by water. We've got lots of trees and hills, so there is that link between green for landscape and blue for water. That does come into the stories of quite a lot of tartans that we put together. Yeah.
Great. So when you're designing your tartans or in your classrooms, I want you to think about the stories and how you're going to link those colors together. Now, Craig and I visited the Lochcarron Mill a few weeks ago because I've always wanted to have my own tartan. So I sat down with Leslie, who's one of Leah's colleagues, to get started.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
I would really love my own tartan for my cycling club. Are you able to help me?
We would love to help you. We work on tartans all the time for different customers that want to design their own tartan to mark an occasion or an event. So tell me a bit more about your project.
Yeah, so I'm part of a cycling group and we normally go around Scotland, but we are planning a big trip across Europe next year. And I thought it would be great if we had our own tartan that linked us together as a group, but also linked us back to Scotland where we come from.
It's a brilliant idea. And do you want to have a look at some colours and we can put a colour palette together for your new design?
Yeah, that sounds great.
So let's start with your colour palette. You could maybe have a green and a blue to represent the Scottish landscapes. So something like these two colours would work quite well.
Yeah, I can see the colour of my bike, which is a really bright orangey coral colour, so I'll give you that one too.
Nice, and then it could be good to add another bright colour just to balance out your coral.
Maybe something that represents like the sun in the sky, maybe like a yellow. Maybe this one here. That looks really nice and bright.
Fantastic. That's a good starting point for your tartan. So these are some of the tartans that we already weave. The tartan is made up of your vertical warp threads and your horizontal weft threads, and they're woven in a twill construction.
So is that why we've got these diagonal lines?
It is, yes. So I don't know if you want to have a look through and see if you prefer a simple tartan or something that's a little bit busier.
Yeah. Oh, there's loads of great choices in here. I think I want something that isn't too detailed, so that we can see it from far away. But I think something that's also quite interesting when we're up close. I actually really like this one. I like that we've got a big pattern, but also it's quite intricate. And this one's even got some colours a bit like mine.
Right, well that's our hame tartan, so that would be a great starting point for your inspiration.
So we'll be checking back in later to see how those colours looked as part of my new tartan.
Yeah, some really strong choices there, Daniel. I like some of the picks. I can't
Thanks,
wait to
Greg.
see it.
Yeah, me too.
So I can tell you that lots of you are already starting to code your own tartan on our website. If you want to have a go yourself, go to cyberskillslive.com and at the top you're going to choose code your own tartan. You do not have to have any experience with computer coding or with textile manufacturing or design. This is for everyone to get started, and we want to know what your stories are behind those tartans. You're going to code a tartan that represents a group that you represent. It could be a school team, it could be a football group, it could be a sports group, but it could be something else completely. What other communities are you part of? Who else do you identify being with? And if you've got a question for Leah, you can use our Menti and you can send us in some questions as well. Daniel, we've got hundreds of people taking part right now.
We have.
I think I want to give a shout out to some schools who are taking part.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so if we shout out your school name, give yourself a big cheer in the classroom. We'll be able to hear you here from our base. So, Ballachulish Primary, thank you for joining us. The North Carolina Virtual Academy in the United States, thank you for joining us today. Milton Cross Academy in England and St Monans Primary School, thanks for taking part.
And that's not all. We've also got Crosshouse Primary School joining us, Abercrombie Primary School, Lawrence Hill Academy, Holy Family Primary School, and Wester Hales Education Centre.
Fantastic. Also, a big shout out to Drumlanrig St Cuthbert's, St Macar Academy, Shortleys Primary School, and McLean Primary School as well. Thank you for joining us.
I can see, Craig, there are lots of pupils joining from Stirling High School, Priorsford Primary School, Whitehill Secondary School, and Lumlash Primary School on Arran.
We've also got Glenluce Primary, Arthur Lee Family Centre, Crookford Primary School, Cornbank Primary School, and Ardross Primary School as well. You're all very welcome to join us today. Thank you for taking part in coding your own tartans and sharing your stories.
Yes. So I just showed you me picking my colours with Leslie. I'm going to show you what happens next to create a digital version of my tartan and learn a bit more about the mill and how it works.
So this is where we design our tartans. It's done on the CAD system called Penelope. It used to be done by hand on hand looms, but now we can do it on the computer to give a good idea of how the tartan will look. So let's have a look at your colours and we can add it into the Haim tartan.
Sounds good.
So here's your final tartan. What do you think?
I love it. I love the fact that even like the pink of my bike, it's the two strips, so we've got two wheels. I think this is great.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Leslie.
No problem. So here's your weaving ticket. So this shows your design with your pattern on it.
Thanks.
Now that I've got my weaving ticket, Leah showed us around the rest of the mill to show us what would happen next. The first stop was the dye house, where yarns are dyed into the particular colours that each tartan needs. The yarns are put into a dye pot and boiled until they're the right colour. Next, it was over to the warping station. This is where the yarns are carefully arranged to create the vertical threads of a tartan. These machines line up the threads onto huge warping drums, creating the pattern, ready for the horizontal threads to be added. Next up, the weaving station. Our warp threads are lifted or lowered by this machine, and the weft threads are pushed in from the sides. Next, it's off to the darners, where the fabric is inspected to make sure the pattern's correct and there's no faults, like breaks or knots. Tartan fabric is naturally oily, that makes it easier to work with, but they need washed out. After they've been washed, they're then cut into swatches of fabric ready to be turned into clothes, like scarves, ties, blankets, or kilts. And at the end of the day, everything's ready and up for sale in the shop.
Daniel, that looked fantastic. It was really interesting seeing how all that comes together to create those tartans.
I know, I love the
But
sound
now-
of all those machines.
But Leah, welcome back and welcome to our Scottish Connections Tartan Gallery.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
This is a chance. We've picked out some of the tartans that have been created so far. And Leah, you're going to give us some feedback, some comments, some first impressions on what you see. So this first tartan that we've got in front of us, it was submitted by Riku from Swords Community College in Dublin. So one of our international participants. So the name of this tartan is Oshi Noku. And it says, we are a group, so who's it been made for? The group that is representing is a group of friends and characters that are really interested in anime and manga. And the design notes that Riku's given me is, I want to have 6 thin and short lines beside each other to represent the characters in our roles. So they've named their characters Aqua, Ruby, Kana, Memcho, and I. So, Leah, what's your initial impressions?
It's beautifully colourful, absolutely beautiful. I love the way that the reds and the pinks are sitting together, and that beautiful bright blue colour, you know, popping up as a window pane in the middle. It's very animated, which works well for manga, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you can definitely see the connection between manga comics and anime and that. And the magenta reminds me of like printing paper and printing comics. So I can see a tie-in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's lovely to see that link between Japanese and Scottish culture, and how a lot of Japanese art was always built upon a grid frame, and that works quite well with the basis of a tartan, doesn't it?
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Thank you very much, Riku, for sending that in.
Yeah.
Daniel, let's have another one.
Yeah. So this next one I'm showing you, it has come from Amelie at Perth Academy. And Amelie has designed a tartan for their school. So the colours in this tartan are inspired by the colours of the school uniform and the ties they wear and the branding that they've got. Leah, this one's quite different to the last one. This one's perhaps a little bit more traditional. What do you think of Amelie's tartan?
It's lovely and simple. It's very fresh looking. I think it will really lift the spirits of the people's wearing it because it's very fresh. It's a lovely tartan. It's nice that it's only got, I think there's only what, 1, 2, 3 colours in there, which is always nice and simple. Very nice.
The thick black lines are quite interesting as well. I think they make the blue stand out.
Make the blue pop out. We call those guardrails. You know, when you've got the black right next to a colour, it's called a guardrail, and it does tend to give that sort of poppy, pop art sort of feel to the colour. Yeah, lovely.
So I think there's quite a tradition between schools wearing tartan, and that's not just in Scotland as well. Do you make tartans for schools around the world?
We do. We make a lot of tartans for schools around the world. It's a very big, particularly in Japan. We work with some lovely school uniform companies, Tombow. They create tartans, bespoke tartans for over 140 different schools in Japan. Yeah.
That's interesting that those schools will have that connection back to Scotland as well.
Yeah.
I saw another one here, Daniel, that really stood out to me.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one.
This is from Kirstine at Dingwall Academy. Now, the theme of this one, Daniel, is based around the recent NASA space missions to the moon.
Yeah, so this tartan is inspired by the Artemis program, and the colours in this tartan are linked to space and exploration and, you know, our relationship with the universe. So the black and the dark colours represents the deep, dark universe. The red is representing Mars, the green is representing Earth, and the blue is to represent of our home and the oceans of Earth. Now, interesting in this one, in Kirstine's notes that she's left, these white squares in the corners, they're representing the 4 astronauts that would be in one of these Artemis rockets. And Kirstine's asked, can you have a silver metallic thread so that it would sparkle? Leah, have you ever made a sparkly tartan before?
We have. Traditionally, you don't use sparkles or lurex within a tartan, but we have done it. We have done tartans with fancy yarns and bits of sparkle just to add a little bit of a pop to them. So yeah, it would be perfect for this type of pattern and this type of brief, if you like. Yeah.
What do you think of the story that this tartan's telling?
It's a great story. And the tartan has that sort of intergalactic feel about it. It's got that, you know, depth of the dark, really dark black, and then the red popping out, and then that little glimmer of white coming through. So that real contrast of colour is lovely, and it definitely has a real intensity to it, doesn't it?
To me, it feels very futuristic. It's like what I would imagine a tartan might look like in 3,000 years' time. Someone discovers and thinks, oh, I'll try and recreate my own one, maybe in the future. Maybe Kirstine, you've made a tartan for the future as well.
I think we'll have a look at one more tartan just now, and then we'll maybe give you a reminder of how you can create your own tartans, and we'll answer some more of your questions. So this next tartan has arrived, and this tartan is from Josh, and Josh has created a tartan for the football club that they support, Queen of the South. And Josh has said that this is a historic club, and Josh would like to imagine what their kit would look like if it was a tartan. But Josh hasn't just taken the brand colours of this football club. Josh has thought about the land in which the club is sited. So it's based in Dumfries and Galloway, which is in the Scottish, near England and the borders. And in this tartan, the sort of darker green is representing the hills and the vegetation that grows on them. The dark blue is representing the predominant colour of that football team. The light blue is representing the river that flows through the centre of Dumfries. The green is representing the pitch at Palmerston Park. And we've also got some black in this tartan, and the black is representing Robert Burns, who of course spent some time in that area.
What's your reactions to this tartan, Leah?
Everything that you said there, I can absolutely see that. I mean, it's really illustrated beautifully in this tartan, and lovely to have a nod towards Robert Burns as well.
Yeah.
With the link to the location. Yeah. Very good at the moment with the World Cup coming up. So nice to do a football tartan. It's very relevant, isn't it? Yeah.
And I see that that Burns black line going through it, almost like, no matter where you are in the south of Scotland, you're always reminded of Burns somewhere, aren't you? And that
Yeah.
sort of flowing through it, I can see that. But
Yeah.
that's really interesting, Daniel. Again, this is a more traditional take as well, but still beautiful.
Very harmonious in the colours. They work beautifully together. The balance is lovely in that tartan. Very good.
I think you could
Yeah.
have some recruits to your design
I think
team.
so. I think so. I'm quite impressed so far. Yeah.
So if you want to take part and you want to code your own tartan and you've not done it yet, Daniel, I could give people a demo of how to get started.
We've been having so many brand new tartans submitted just in the last minute alone. Jack at Lanlarsh, Precious at Stenhouse, Leo at Abercrombie, Broden who's at Dunend. We've had people from St Monans, Emily at Drumlanrig, Ryan at Lawrence Hill. You've all submitted tartans literally in the last minute or two. So if you'd like to have a go creating your own tartan, then watch this video and Craig's going to tell you everything that you need to know.
Okay, let's see how to code your own tartan. Make sure you're on our website, cyberskillslive.com. Then you're going to find Code Your Own Tartan and hit play. It's going to ask you to put your name in and your school. Do that. And then you can jump straight to Design Your Own Tartan. Once you're here, this is where you tell us about your design decisions. You need to tell us who your tartan is for. Fill that in. You need to tell us a bit more about your group. Then you need to pick the 5 colours of the tartan that are significant to your group. So you choose the colour. I'm going to go for this blue. Then it will update the hex value for you here automatically, but you need to fill in what it represents. So you do that for all 5 colours. Lastly, you need to think about the position of the stripes, the warp and the weft. Tell us one way that you could use a pattern to tell your group's story. Fill that in here. Then you're going to hit Save Design Choices. Once you've done that, you can hit I'm ready to code my own tartan. And here is the code. You do not need to rewrite all this code, you just need to edit parts. So the first parts here are your colours. All you're going to do is edit the colour here to match the colours that you've chosen. So you can copy and paste it, or you can type it in here. Whenever you hit play, you will see a version of your tartan so far. So if I edit this code, I'm just going to copy paste that in. Then I hit play again. You can see the colours changed. If you want to undo it, you can hit undo, play again, you see the updated version, or stop. Really important part is the warp and the weft. Each row is a stripe of one of your colours. The bigger the number, the wider the stripe. So you can add, remove, or edit these rows here. And again, if you edit these rows and you hit play, your tartan will update. This is how you're going to design the positions of those stripes. Have a look through the rest of the code, see what else you can change, but once you're happy with your design, go down to the bottom, make sure these parts are filled in, telling us about your tartan, and then you're going to hit share your design to our gallery. Once you've done that, that's it sent to us. You've still got time to transfer some tartans to us via secure tartan transfer. For now though, let's get a few more questions for Leah. So Leah, I've had a few more questions for you.
Yeah.
Someone from Ballyhoolish Primary has said, who is the most famous customer you've ever had?
I'd probably say that His Majesty the King. So he asked us to design a tartan in 2023. It's called the King Charles III tartan, and he came to the mill with his wife, the Queen, and they spent the morning with us. They met our teams, and they did a tour of the mill, and they saw their tartan weaving on the loom as well. So that was a great day for the mill. Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to get a more famous customer than that.
No. Yeah.
But I've seen some celebrities wearing some of the designs that you've worked on as well. So I know it's popular, not just with royalty, but with famous actors and musicians and TV stars too.
Yes, absolutely. We've got, gosh, who have we've got? But Ed Sheeran wore the tartan. We've had Billy Connolly, Who else have we had? Oh gosh, Kate Middleton, Princess
Oh, yeah.
Catherine has worn our tartan as well. And then also with designing tartans for some of the international design houses such as Vivienne Westwood, we've had Taylor Swift who wore
Brilliant.
one of our tartans in a Vivienne Westwood garment. So that was a real bonus for us. Yeah, she's very famous.
This also brings on to another question that we've had, which is, this is a learner who's very interested in maybe not so much the creative, but the business side of what we're doing. So how much money does a business making these types of things make per year?
Yeah, so annually we make around about 8 to 10 million. So from a sort of giving you a wee bit more statistics about the loom, let me see how about every day our loom can produce around about 120 to 180 meters of cloth, which per annum that gives us around about 200,000 meters of cloth per year. And yeah, so some sort of stats on the business. Yeah, it's a healthy business. Doing well.
And
yeah,
you don't just sell to Scotland as well. It sounds like you've got customers around the world.
we do. It's an international business. I mean, tartan is embraced and world renowned. Really, it's a world renowned, and it's traditional. It's street culture. It's punk. It's school uniforms. It's everything really, depending on the arena it goes into. So it never disappears, thankfully.
And some of the classes that are joining today are from computing classes as well. And I know that your website is a big part of your business as well. And I imagine then that if someone was interested in tech, but were also interested in traditional textile industry and Scottish culture, that could be an interesting job to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be. Yeah, come and join us.
A question from people at Lift Tendering in Essex. Can you work as an apprentice in this industry?
Yes, you can. We're very fortunate. We've had a lot of younger people joining us over the last few years. It's been quite an attractive industry to join because you work a 4-day week. We work a long 4-day. We have a 3-day weekend. And coming back into work in a factory, people are moving back into that sphere post-pandemic. So yes, we do lots of apprenticeships, SVQs, and we have various apprenticeships through the mill. So yeah.
And having met your team, having been in the mill, everybody seemed really welcoming and friendly, and everybody looked as if they were enjoying themselves as well. So I think it would be, an interesting career for someone to get into.
Definitely. We've got a lot of people who've been here for a long time as well. So I think that's a good sign that people want to stay with us, as well as the new members joining. Yeah.
Daniel, you've been looking up some tartans that are just coming in.
So many new tartans, hundreds of new tartans.
What are you thinking?
So I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring up some more tartans in our gallery, just as we've been doing before we had that break there. So let's jump back to our gallery. And I can tell you that this tartan here has been submitted by Carter, who's at Robert Smiley Memorial Primary School. And we said that you could design a tartan for any group that you feel part of. And Carter has gone for the most personal group possible, which is themselves. So this is the Carter tartan.
Like a personal tartan?
A personal tartan, yeah. And Carter said that this is for me to wear at weddings, funerals, and caber tossings.
Yeah, good.
Versatile. Yeah.
Yeah.
The colours in this tartan are their favourite colours, and also red, because red looks like fire.
I can see that standing out.
I can see that too, definitely. So it looks like you've got two reds in there, and then that sort of like orange yellow in the middle. Definitely,
Yeah.
It's got that warmth to it.
It's very
You
warm.
get drawn to that, don't you?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Carter, for sending that in. Should we have another one, Daniel?
Yeah, let's bring up another one. So this tartan is from Doug. And Doug is at Ayrshire College. And this is a tartan to represent the 800 staff and thousands of students at that college. Craig, have you got the design notes for this one?
Yeah, so Doug's design notes say here that the grey is to represent business in Ayrshire. The light green is to represent the land of Ayrshire, and the foam, the sort of blue foam, is the sea, because obviously Ayrshire, a lot of it is on the coast as well. Then those white squares are to represent the clouds in our sky. And then the blue in the background is to represent blue sky, and they say, and the free thinking that it represents. So that's
Nice.
the story behind that design, Leah.
Yeah, it's very fresh looking again with those aqua colours and the blues, and I could see a lot coming through. It's quite interesting that this design is an asymmetric design as well. We don't see a lot of that in tartan, so that's quite interesting. It makes it quite unique.
Is that so that not always traditional to have it as asymmetric, but perfectly valid?
Yeah.
Or
Yes, it's valid, but we don't see as many of those. They're usually symmetrical, because when you're making a kilt, you fold in the middle and make your kilt out. So usually the tartans are symmetrical, balanced in the warp and the weft, and usually symmetrical. There are a few that are asymmetric, but not that many. So yeah, nice to see that.
Daniel, do we have time for one more?
I think let's have a look at one more. And I think this is quite a fun one.
Yeah.
So this tartan here has come from Craig, but not this Craig, at New College, Lanarkshire. And this tartan is for the Doom Fans Association. So Doom is a computer game. It's a computer game that's been around for a long time. It has a lot of fans. I guess it's maybe as historic as it gets with games. And the colours that we see in the three bands are all part of the colour palette of this popular computer game.
So yeah, gaming clubs and gaming groups and communities are, you know, a massive way of what we maybe think about as modern clans. Like, you get together with your friends,
Yeah.
you go on adventures, you do stuff. So that's a really interesting idea, bringing it around a computer game.
It certainly is, and it's that sense of community that's always been really important, a big part of tartan. And this is a lovely design. I love the fact that they've used these black guardrails again to sort of make the colours and the design look more animated and pop. It's lovely, and I like the fact that you've got your blue, your cold colours together, and then your warmer colours together, giving you that real contrast between the sort of green and the red area. It's a very, very, very interesting tartan. Yeah.
So we've been
Daniel,
receiving so many tartans this afternoon. Way too many for us to show on this YouTube. But the good news is all of your tartans are going to make it into our Scottish Connections gallery. So Lily, Zayden, Harrison, Harper, Cruz, Callum, Angelina, Mila, you've all just submitted a tartan in the last minute or so. Don't worry, your tartans are going to be in our gallery, and we'll make sure that your teachers get a link to check that out later on.
Daniel, this has been so fun this afternoon. I loved learning a bit about the history of tartan and tartan design. I liked getting hands-on with those creative coding tools. And I just love that everyone's created all these new tartans that are telling your unique stories as well. We have one more task for you to do with your class, and that's to give us some feedback. So we want you to go back onto our Mentimeter, which is at the top of the screen there, if I can point to it correctly. So it's menti.com, and then you're going to put the code in. If you answer those questions, that will tell us what you liked, what you learned, what you didn't like about it, and sharing that with us as well.
But that's all we've got time for this afternoon. But I just want to thank Leah one more time. It was great having you critique all of these brilliant new tartans with us. And it was also great that you were able to answer so many questions from all of the pupils too.
It was an absolute pleasure. I loved seeing the designs as well. Well done to everybody. Fantastic. Yeah.
At the end of the session, Daniel, we've got a certificate for everyone who's taken part. So Daniel will put those certificates up on the screen at the end, and you can pause it and your teacher can take a picture of it, or you can take a screenshot of it as well. You could always send that to us. You could email it to us and show us your class celebrating with it. So I think I can't wait to go and see the rest of these tartans, Daniel.
I know, that's what I'm going to be off to do next. But for now, it's bye from Leah.
Goodbye.
It's bye from Craig.
Bye-bye.
And it's bye from me as well. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.